everybody, and welcome back to Magic the Gathering. Today, I'm going to be showing you Counter Madness. Now, before we get into it, I want you guys to go down below in the description, check out my Twitch link, because I mainly stream on Twitch. We play so much Magic on Twitch. We play so many games on Twitch. Magic, Pokemon, you name it, we play in it. Other games too, like, I haven't had time to stream other games as of late, though I have been doing really long streams of card games. Ugh. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna have a link to my Twitch down below. If you enjoy what you see, then make sure you go down, check it out. Also, if you enjoy, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so you'll know whenever I upload one of these. And yeah, because I do like making new decks whenever I can. It's just the way I am. Anyways, Counter Madness. So, when you think Counter Madness, you're like, oh, it's a deck for counter spells, obviously. No, you're wrong, you dirty son of a bitch, alright? No. Counter decks suck. They're boring and they just suck, okay? This is a deck of Toxin and, tokens. Well, counters. Not tokens, counters. So it has +1/+1 counters, it has loyalty counters, it has some proliferate, it has some toxic counters, like, it's just, it's good stuff. So we got Venerated Rot Priest. It gives good toxic whenever someone uses a spell on any of my creatures. Hagra Constrictor. This card enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Each creature that has a +1/+1 counter on it has Menace. So good. Now, another thing. Blightbelly Rat. So, this is a toxic card. It's cheap. It can be used as a blocker. It can be used as an early game attacker to get some toxic on your opponent. When it dies, it also proliferates. So it's good. So, we also have Drowning Ichor. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn, proliferate. It can be a good kill card. Frankly, you can kill things with it. Ozolith, the Shattered Spire. This card, if I already have one on the field, I can cycle it to draw another card. As well as, I can tap it to put 2 +1/+1 counters on something. Because if one or more +1/+1 counters would be put on an artifact or creature I control, that many +1/+1/+1 counters are put on it instead. So basically, it's put 2 +1/+1 counters down. Bloated Contaminator. He just plows through, dealing good damage, gives toxic, and it proliferates the entire field. So good. Cultivate. Get a little bit of that mana ramp that you might need. Kami, the Whispered Hopes. This card is so good for +1/+1 counter decks, because if one or more +1/+1 counters we put on a permanent I control, that many +1/+1 counters are put on that permanent instead. So it also increases how many counters are being put on things. So it's just good. Also, it's a good mana ramp card, because if you're putting +1/+1 counters on Kami, then it ends up getting 2 or 3, depending on however many you're putting on. It will get extra because of its ability. And because of that, okay? Add X mana of any one color, where X is Kami of Whispered Hope's power. So this card can basically become like 7 mana, easy, if you have the right field. Now, Ren the Realm Breaker. This card, so good, because all your lands, they become all colors, so it doesn't matter what lands you got on the field as long as you have Ren on the field. Also, it lets you turn a land into a 3/3 elemental creature with vigilance and hexproof and haste until the next turn. It's still a land, but if your opponent has no blockers or they don't have strong blockers, you can attack, get a good hit in there, and Ren goes up 1 on their loyalty counter. And if you can get Ren up to a 7, then you can literally play your lands, your permanent spells, all from your graveyard. So it just, you become unstoppable as long as you have mana. Now, Tribute of the World Tree. This, as long as a creature has power 3 or greater, you draw a card. But if you have less than 3 power, then you put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. But, guys, hear me out. If you have Kami or Ozolith down, that is actually 3. If you have both down, that's 4. If you have multiple Kamis, since I have only 3 in the deck, that can end up going up to, with just the Kamis on the field, 5. An extra 3. So we can get an extra 6 tokens if we have these guys down. Now, also, Vorinclex, Monstrous Raider. Not Rider. He doesn't ride monsters. He is a monster, and he raids things. He's the Monstrous Raider. If I put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, I put twice that amount, which includes Toxic, Loyalty, and +1/+1 counters. So this guy's amazing. And on top of that, if an opponent would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, they put half that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead, rounded down. So if you're only putting 1 counter on something, you put 0 counters, because it rounds down to 0. So it just completely stops counter production for your opponents, basically. And then you got Vraska. I get the draw. I lose life, but I proliferate, which is really good for a deck that's all about getting +1/+1 counters, loyalty counters, toxic counters. It's just good. And then I can also turn creatures into treasure artifacts, which I usually do to my opponent, but I could do to myself if I feel the need. And then, if I get this person up to 9 loyalty, I can put, or, well, I don't put 9 no matter what, but I can get up to 9 poison onto my opponent for 9 loyalty counters. So, like, overall, there's a lot of synergy of just getting those counters. You don't get the synergy, you don't get the win. So you gotta be pretty lucky with the draws, but when you do, oh boy, can it wreck. So I'm going to show you guys the power of the Counter Madness deck. I put a lot of time and effort into this deck. And it's just a fun deck. It got me some good wins. Coffee still tastes like ass. Alright, so we're starting with Blight Belly and Bloated Contaminator, Drowning Ichor, and Tribute of the World Tree. So these are actually pretty good starting cards. I kind of prefer starting with Ren in my hand, honestly, because the sooner you get Ren down, the better. But it is what it is. Oh, we're up against an aggro deck. How did you get... Wait. Right, you went first and then I went. I'm dumb. Brain contemplating how things work. Also, let's give them a hello. Hello. That's unfortunate. Are you gonna have a card to kill this too? Most likely. They're playing aggro, so we're probably pretty screwed here. They won't let me get a defense up. They got too many cards that just do too much damage. Fire. Okay. Okay. Alright. You gonna block? Then you're gonna do 3 damage to it, right? Does it have haste? It does. Honestly, nice card. Honestly, nice card. That's a good aggro deck. Being completely honest here. I'm not even getting my fucking +1/+1 counters right now. Kinda sucks. I'm about to take 7 damage because they pulled that mountain, didn't you? Didn't you? You got that one mountain, don't you? You got that one mountain. I know you do. I know you do, big boy. I know you do. No? Okay. You gonna go for that 1 damage? Really? Figured you'd go for the block. Alright.
I must bend Realmbreaker to my will. I must fight back.
They have something in their hand here. They're probably gonna have a way of killing Bloated. We're gonna use our Swamp as a blocker to prevent too much damage to Ren. Ooh. 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 I don't, They got blockers now. Going to attack, or are you gonna save those for blockers? You gotta save them for blockers, right? You wouldn't attack. You wouldn't attack. That wouldn't be smart, right? Right? Mind Stitcher? My turn? Okay. Ooh. Do this. This is a gamble. This is a gamble. They need to at least double block Bloated. And they gotta block with at least 1 for Vorinclex. Interesting.
Allies everywhere. Stand with us.
Oh shit. They can get their Phoenix back. That's 6 damage. It's not enough to kill me, but it's close. It's close. Alright. Okay. Ooh. That was close. This is close, guys.
My senses blossom with eternity.
Alright, 2, 4. That'd be 6, 8. I don't want to say good game yet. Oh, it is good game. I didn't know if they have any, like, that one card in their hand and they still have the Phoenix, but hey, if it's a good game, it's a good game. Good game is good game. That was a close match. That was close. I didn't even show off the +1/+1 counters on that deck. I completely had to piggyback my Toxic. The toxicity was what I had to piggyback. We'll go one more round. Hopefully we can get it to win the way I want it to win, but downside of this deck is sometimes you kind of have to piggyback on the Toxic. It's not supposed to be the win condition, but sometimes it is the win condition. Though, actually, we weren't going to win due to the Toxic. We were going to win because of Vorinclex. Which, he is just strong. He'd just be so strong. Hello. So, this is actually not a really good hand, but it's a hand. Gotta do what you gotta do with what you're given, you know? Also, Evolving Wilds, I didn't mention. I always forget about the lands. I figure you guys can figure out the lands. But for land, Evolving Wild, since, you know, I drew it, I may as well mention it. Evolving Wilds actually is really good with Ren because it becomes a colorless and you can constantly bring it back from your graveyard. So you can use it for mana or you can just let it sit. Really up to you, but it can be pretty handy. And then we'll do that on our turn. No, wait, don't attack. What the fuck you doing? What you doing, you goof? You goof? Playing like a goof? A goofer? A goofy goofer? You got a pacify or something? Homestead charge? Alright. Siege Veteran! I didn't know about your badassitry. God damn, you're strong! You strong, bruh. You so strong. Kinda lacking black mana, so we're gonna have to take this 5 and sit back. We got a lot of grass on the field right now. We need more block. we don't have a choice but to just fucking take the hits right now. They're gonna double buff their other Siege Veteran. I'm gonna have to use Venerated to block. Are you okay, Dino?
Stay.
Question is, do I block? I gotta block. Dino! What is happening out there? You okay? What are you choking on?
Every job is an opportunity to learn more about this city. Let's do this together.
Dog's coughing up a lung in there? Alright, Vraska's fucking dead.
My defiance never dies.
I got land. Good game. They win. Siege Veteran. Siege Veteran. My deck also didn't work like I wanted. Why are you playing? I guess you haven't won yet. You get that up to 9.
This
Give it
is your
fucking
fault.
first link.
Wait.
Or first strike or life link. Vigilance. Ah. No, you did win. You didn't have to play anything. You Buttfolio? Oh, I guess you did have to play that to win. Never mind. I'm wrong. Unfortunate. As you can see, if you don't get that synergy, it just doesn't work. You know? And sometimes you just don't get that synergy. Sometimes you just don't get the synergy. But it is what it is. 1 victory, 1 loss. That is Counter Madness, everybody. Thanks for sticking around with me to check out this deck that I made. And if you like the deck, feel free to play it yourself. Here it is, you know. Good stuff, good stuff. It's just fun when it does work. Keyword when it does. Really depends what you draw, but yeah. Have a good one, and remember, if you like the deck and you want to use my deck, the least you can do is leave a comment and fucking hit that subscribe button for more decks that I make, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, I hope you have a fantastic time living life. Live it up while you can. Alright. Signing off.